Her voice, sharp as shattered glass, echoed through the hushed boutique. "I'm telling you, she doesn't belong here," she hissed at the manager, jabbing a finger toward the teenage girl. The other customers froze, their eyes darting between the imperious woman and the girl at the center of the scene. But the girl, Emma Reynolds, didn't flinch. She stood tall, her gaze locked on the woman who had just humiliated her. Little did her accuser know, the truth about to unfold would shatter her smug confidence in an instant. 16-year-old Emma, with a love for fashion and a strong sense of self, had walked into the boutique that afternoon simply to find a dress for a special event. She was completely unaware of the storm brewing around her. It was a proud moment for her, the very first time she had come to shop here without her father, Nathan Reynolds. He was a well-respected entrepreneur, known for his vision and generosity, the owner of this store, and several other high-end establishments across the city. But today he was away on business, leaving Emma to enjoy what she thought would be a quiet, independent shopping experience. As she browsed the elegant racks, a sense of excitement filled her. The upcoming charity gala was important, and she wanted to look her best. She spotted a stunning dress, admiring its intricate details before realizing it wasn't her size and reluctantly placing it back. As she did, she failed to notice the pair of eyes watching her with sour disdain. Mrs. Evelyn Drake, a regular customer who carried herself with an air of unshakable entitlement, had decided from the moment she saw Emma that the girl did not belong. Evelyn's judgment was not a quiet one. She trailed Emma through the store, her sharp gaze of physical weight. When Emma disappeared into a fitting room, Evelyn muttered to a nearby shopper, loud enough to be heard, "I bet she's not even here to buy anything." Undeterred, Emma emerged from the fitting room in a different dress, one that fit her perfectly. She admired her reflection in the mirror, her excitement growing as she imagined wearing it at the gala. But her peaceful moment was shattered when Evelyn approached, a saccharine smile plastered on her face. "That's a beautiful dress," Evelyn said, her tone dripping with condescension. "Thank you," Emma replied politely. "I think it's perfect for my dad's event." Evelyn's fake smile vanished. "Are you sure you're in the right store? This place isn't exactly budget-friendly. Perhaps you should try somewhere more affordable." Emma felt her stomach tighten. She had encountered rudeness before, but this felt different, more targeted, more cruel. Still, she refused to be intimidated. "I think I'm exactly where I need to be," she said firmly, "and I'll let my purchases speak for themselves." The exchange had begun to draw attention. Whispers filled the boutique. Trying to maintain her composure, Emma addressed the woman one last time. "If you have an issue, perhaps you should take it up with someone in charge." Evelyn smirked. "Don't worry," she said, turning toward the manager. "I will." Evelyn flagged down the store manager, a woman who had only worked there for a few months and didn't recognize Emma. "Excuse me," Evelyn said, her voice rising to command the room. "I've been watching that girl, and I'm quite sure she slipped something into her bag." The manager, visibly uncomfortable, approached. "What seems to be the issue, Mrs. Drake?" "The issue," Evelyn snapped, pointing at Emma, "is that she's been acting suspiciously. You need to check her bag." Emma's heart sank. "I haven't done anything wrong," she said, her voice steady despite the humiliation. "Of course you'd say that," Evelyn sneered. "Why don't you just show us what's in your bag?" Stunned, Emma looked at the manager. "I have done nothing wrong," she repeated calmly. "But if it will stop this nonsense, go ahead." She handed her bag over without hesitation as the small crowd of customers looked on. The manager opened the bag, carefully checking its contents. After a moment, she looked up and shook her head. "There's nothing here," she said quietly. But Evelyn refused to yield. "Check again. She must have hidden it somewhere else." Emma's patience was gone. "I think we're done here," she said, her voice firm as she took her bag back. "Unless you have actual proof, I suggest you stop harassing me." "If you have nothing to hide," Evelyn projected, "then why are you being so defensive?" Emma took a deep breath, her hands trembling slightly. "Defensive? You accused me of stealing without a shred of evidence. That's not defensiveness. That's self-respect." The manager, desperate to defuse the situation, pleaded, "Perhaps we should all just calm down." But Evelyn was relentless. She pointed at Emma again. "Girls like her don't belong in stores like this. They come in, make a scene, and leave with things that don't belong to them." Emma's jaw tightened. "You're not just wrong," she said, her voice cutting through the tension. "You're showing everyone exactly who you are." "We don't need troublemakers ruining this place," Evelyn said loudly to the manager. "Just ask her to leave." The manager hesitated, then turned to Emma. "I think it's best if you leave," she said softly. "We don't want any more disruptions." Emma stared in disbelief. "You're asking me to leave, even though I've done nothing wrong?" Evelyn smirked, folding her arms. "Exactly." Refusing to be intimidated, Emma pulled out her phone. She dialed quickly, raising it to her ear. "Dad," she said calmly, her voice a beacon of steadiness in the chaos. "I need you to come to the boutique. There's a situation here." Evelyn rolled her eyes. "How petulant," she muttered to another customer. Probably calling her boyfriend to come bail her out. The room fell into an uneasy silence after Emma ended the call. She stood her ground, her head held high as the store manager fidgeted nervously. The tension was thick, with every eye fixed on Emma, waiting. Then, the unmistakable roar of a powerful engine cut through the quiet street outside. A sleek black SUV rolled to a halt at the curb. A bodyguard in a sharp suit stepped out first, his gaze scanning the boutique like a hawk. Moments later, Nathan Reynolds emerged. His tailored suit and polished shoes clicked with purpose against the pavement. He walked toward the boutique with calm, deliberate strides, his presence alone commanding attention. The glass doors chimed as the bodyguard entered, his imposing frame silencing the remaining whispers. Nathan Reynolds followed, and the staff who recognized him instantly straightened up. "It's Mr. Reynolds," someone whispered. The manager hurried over, her voice trembling. "Mr. Reynolds, we weren't expecting you today." Nathan strode past her and went straight to Emma. "What's going on here?" he asked, his voice steady but laced with authority. Evelyn, assuming he was just another executive who would appreciate her vigilance, stepped forward. "Good. I'm glad someone's here to deal with this mess. This girl has been causing trouble. I believe she tried to steal something." Nathan turned to the manager, raising an eyebrow. "Is this true?" "Well," the manager began, her voice shaky. "Mrs. Drake did bring some concerns to my attention, but we checked the young lady's bag and there was nothing in it." "Exactly," Evelyn snapped. "But that doesn't mean she wasn't planning to. People like her are good at hiding things." The words hung in the air. "People like her?" Nathan repeated, his tone neutral but pointed. "You know what I mean," Evelyn stammered, suddenly sensing she had overstepped. "This store is for respectable clients." Nathan didn't respond immediately. He stood silently, his gaze shifting between Evelyn and his daughter. The weight of his silence was palpable. Finally, with calm authority he spoke. "This girl you're accusing," he said, his tone measured but sharp, "is my daughter." The room froze. Gasps rippled through the boutique as the weight of his words sank in. Evelyn's expression crumbled, her face paling as her confidence evaporated. Her mouth opened and closed, but no sound came out. Nathan stepped closer to her, his commanding presence towering over her. "You judged her without cause," he began, his words deliberate and cutting. "You harassed her, made false accusations and humiliated her, all because of your own prejudice." I was just trying to protect the store's reputation," she stammered. "Protect the store's reputation?" he repeated, his voice now cold as ice. "By targeting an innocent girl? She shouldn't have to announce who she is to be treated with respect. Everyone who walks into this store deserves that." He then turned his sharp gaze to the manager. "And you stood by and let this happen. You failed to protect your customer. That is unacceptable." The manager hung her head, speechless. Nathan turned back to a trembling Evelyn. "I think we've heard enough from you," he said firmly. He looked at his bodyguard. "Make sure she leaves." As the bodyguard stepped forward, Evelyn took a step back, her face flushed with humiliation. I didn't mean any harm," she said weakly. Nathan's gaze didn't waver. "You are banned from this store, and from every other establishment I own," he said, his voice calm but final. "You are no longer welcome here." Realizing she had no escape, Evelyn muttered something under her breath and turned toward the door. The sharp click of her heels on the marble floor was the only sound in the now silent boutique, each step an echo of her defeat. As she reached the exit, she cast one final, venomous glance over her shoulder, only to see Nathan standing resolute beside Emma, a pillar of unshakable support. With an indignant huff, Evelyn pushed the door open and vanished into the bustling street. Her domineering presence evaporated, leaving behind only the ghost of a warning. The other customers watched in stunned silence, some nodding slowly, affirming the justice they had just witnessed. The manager, her face flushed with embarrassment, hurried forward. "Mr. Reynolds," she began, her voice dripping with apology, "I had no idea she was your daughter. If I had only known—" Nathan raised a hand, cutting her off. "It's not about who she is," he stated, his voice firm but calm. "It's about how you handled this. You entertained baseless accusations and failed to defend a young woman who needed your support. I am so sorry. It will never happen again." Nathan gave a single, sharp nod. "See that it doesn't," he said, his tone leaving no room for argument. "This store carries my name, and I will not tolerate this kind of behavior." With the situation resolved, Nathan's attention turned solely to Emma, his stern expression melting into one of deep concern. "Are you all right?" he asked softly. Emma managed a small, brave smile. "I'm fine, Dad. Thank you." He placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "You handled yourself with incredible dignity and grace. This store is just as much yours as it is mine, and no one ever has the right to make you feel otherwise. I'm so proud of you." Emma's smile widened, her confidence returning like a warm light. Together they turned and walked toward the back office, leaving a room of silent onlookers and a lesson that would not be soon forgotten. But as they walked, a question echoed in Emma's mind. How many more Evelyns were out there, ready to cast judgment without a second thought? She made a silent vow to herself. This was not the last time she would stand for what is right. Emma's courage and Nathan's unwavering support are a powerful reminder that dignity cannot be diminished by the ignorance of others. This wasn't merely a confrontation. It was a quiet victory for empathy and fairness. Evelyn's prejudice serves as a stark warning about the poison of snap judgments, while Emma's grace under fire shows that even in the face of ugliness, there is always an opportunity for strength and redemption. Have you ever faced a situation like this? Share your experience in the comments below, and let us know where you're watching from. If this story resonated with you, please like the video and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring tales of resilience, justice, and courage.